Hey there, YouTube friends. Mask Bandit here with another episode of Conifer Slopes. I guess this is episode 9 of Conifer Slopes. It was, well, I was considering calling it 8.5 because I had a bit of a crash, which was really surprising. And Autosave actually didn't autosave, so we have that going on. I don't know why that happened. But anyway, I lost a whole bunch of progress that's in the time lapse. And actually, I even got some cinematic shots of it. So I'm just going to leave it in and just say, hey, this is what I built, but it's going to change. There's enough in here that it should be just fine. So with that being said, I wanted to give you a look at our little train station from a couple episodes ago. I told you it was going to change, and if you weren't fortunate enough to catch the live stream, this is what we came up with on our live stream. This overhang here, big shout out to Lone Wolf. This was his idea, and I thought it turned out great. And someone else, I forget who it was, had an idea of keeping it open and adding like crates and barrels, and I think that little added detail is just super fun. And the front here with the gables and the big grand staircase and the water fountain, I kind of really dig how this came out. So just wanted to show you that, hey, this is actually what's going on. We have a train station now. And as far as what else is going around it, I got some ideas, but nothing set in stone. In case you can't tell, my voice sounds a lot better. I feel much, much better. So with that being said, let's flip it over to the time lapse, and I will see you on the other side of this cut. Okie dokie, so here we are. And the first thing I wanted to get done in this episode, most of this time lapse is actually working to kind of flesh out and complete the Category 5 queue and entrance area. And so the first thing, of course, is a sign for the ride. And I hopped onto the old Google machine and I just typed in Category 5 and then clicked on images, and a bunch of stuff came up, and what I was looking for was just some inspiration, and I actually found a logo. I think it's for amps. I think it's an amp company, actually. This logo is inspired off of them, and I'm pretty happy with it. I like it. I think it's a fun little logo, and once the actual word is in, I think what I do with the whole area, I think actually makes a lot more sense. That kind of completes the whole theme of, a giant hurricane and a giant storm. Excuse me, I do still have, pardon me, I do still have a little cough, some remnants of my bronchitis that I had in the last episode. Takes a while to get over that, so apologies if I do a little bit of coughing. I'm doing the best I can, but the quality of my voice, as I mentioned earlier, is much, much better. So this little orange thing here is the little symbol, the little hurricane symbol. It was surprisingly difficult to do with the shapes. They didn't do quite what I wanted them to do, so I kind of had to settle, and I actually kind of like the way it came out, how it kind of looks a little more angled and a little more jagged. I think that's kind of cool. So, and then this is stupid to say, but the R in category gave me some troubles, as you can see, so I came up with a better R in the enter sign, which is coming up in a few minutes. So, yeah, just a little bit of that. So. And after we get done with one thing I saw a couple different people doing is they kind of add some depth to their sign by adding some different colors underneath, kind of some drop shadow. And so I did that with the teal here, a nice way to incorporate some of the coaster color into the sign, into the logo, and I think it looks nice. It's subtle. I think maybe a little too subtle. I should probably keep playing around with that idea. And so, yeah. Oh, and then the 5 here. I wasn't happy. I wanted it to look like this first iteration. I don't like it. And then I actually didn't record me trying a bunch of different options. I tried for forever to try to make it look like a digital clock reading, like a 5, with just the lines. But I could never get that quite right. And so now it just kind of, you're going to see there's going to be a big cut coming up. And you're going to see, yeah, there you go. You can see it's just this red, almost looks like an S. I mean, I wanted it to look like a digital clock, but I couldn't, a digital 5, but I couldn't get it to work. So we're going to settle with this, and it's fine. I like it. I don't care. So here we are. We're adding the official enter sign, and Again, this is where I do a better job with the R here, I think. I find a better way to make an R. As stupid as that is to talk about. What are you talking about in your video today? How to make the letter R. I actually like that R better than the R that's on category. So after I finished this part, I thought, oh, this still looks kind of bland. We need some more something going on here. And so I start adding some planks to kind of give it this whole like abandoned, kind of falling apart idea. And I was like, oh, that doesn't make much sense. So I think I go ahead and start adding, we start adding some bricks, a brick wall. And it's going to look like a dilapidated brick wall, like the hurricane came blowing through. And I think that was kind of a fun thing to try and do. And I think it turned out quite successful. I thought it was good. So if you've watched the live stream from Thursday, that would be the 18th, May 18th, you've seen this. You've seen a little sneak peek of this as we tried to rebuild what we lost. And you're actually going to see me build what got lost in this episode. Luckily, none of this got lost. The whole entrance to Conifer Slopes and the whole queue is intact, which is fantastic. So just adding more brick and trying to make them look like they're falling down and stuff like that. And then it came time. I wanted to do some shade covers, but I didn't want them to be just kind of boring. I wanted to do something kind of different. And so again, if you watch the last episode, episode 8, we talk about Stu K or Stuke or whatever his name is, STU, the Art Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 creator who made a lot of awesome custom scenery sets, the hanger sets. I was inspired by those again for these covers. And like I said, if you're familiar with those pieces, you're gonna know, you're gonna catch the reference right away. I fiddled around a lot with some different ideas, thinking about one giant canopy. And then what I ended up doing is I scrap it because these triangle pieces are hard. They're hard to work with. They don't rotate the way you would expect them to. I've heard some other people comment on the angled piece, the triangle pieces like that. The triangle is the roof pieces. They don't rotate the way you expect them to. So we abandoned that idea pretty quick. And then it's as simple as making large umbrellas for each of the arms. And then once I decide on doing that, first I start with a tiny one, and I'm like, well, that's stupid. That's way too small. So once I get the size I like, it's just a matter of making 1/4 of it, and then copying it. That's pretty much it. So that's cool. It went much quicker once I had a better idea of what I wanted to do. And this is my simple technique. It's not perfect, and I know there's a better way to make like umbrellas. When it comes to actual like food store umbrellas, I'm going to use CTR SIND Ryan. I'm going to use his technique of using the cloth bunting because those umbrellas look great. But for these, I wanted that more industrial kind of look, and so we're just adding some extra supporting to make it look like these arms could support the weight of these little canopies, and then we'll just copy it over, and that will be that. And then we'll jump into whatever comes next. So I'll let the tunes roll, and I'll be back in a minute. And so once all that was taken care of, I decided it was time to do some custom lights, and I wanted them to be very simple, very industrial, and like I went with a simple T, and at first I was like, no, but it actually really did grow on me. I actually really like it. And then we use these box lights, and I'm not sure if I dig these yet. I'm still kind of sitting on them and thinking about them. Like, they're cool, but I'm not sure they're exactly what I want. They look neat at night, but they just look a little awkward. I'm not sure. I do like how bright they are, though. It's nice that I can put them just a few into the queue, and it'll really brighten everything up. So we use these throughout the queue and also through around the area, the Category 5 kind of plaza, I guess. And my lighting skills are still mediocre, and I'm just trying to get some lighting on the sign that doesn't look like hot garbage, and I think I do an okay job. I'm sure there's better ways to do it, but I'm still learning. It's still an in progress. My lighting skills are still an in progress thing. I do like the purple cast there. I think that looks kind of cool. And just making sure everyone could see the enter sign with the lighting. And yeah, I paid extra careful attention to the lighting on Category 5 because in all the versions it was really kind of the part that sold the whole ride. The lighting was always kind of neat. I liked the lighting a lot in all the previous versions, so I thought I would really try. And then I realized that the coaster was pretty dark, so I threw a couple lights on there. Yeah, and just to make sure nobody walked through my lighting, I went ahead and threw some new some new benches and some new bins down. I like these new ones that came with the update, the recolorable ones. Those are pretty cool. And then it was time to protect everyone from getting their heads chopped off and running into the coaster area by adding a iron fence. And that's pretty much what this is. I'm just going to be laying this out and going all along. This has an exceptionally long exit path, and so we're just going to let it roll, and you're going to see the fence take shape, and we're going to add a little area for employees to get access to the transfer track and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what's coming up in this next chunk. So we're just going to let that kind of roll because there's not much else to say other than here's a big-ass fence. So here's a big-ass fence. So here, clearly, we're not working on fence. We've been working on foliage for a while. And I wanted to make sure that it felt like this wasn't... I wanted the whole area to kind of feel complete. And I kind of like what happened here with the clumps of kind of forest and most of the coaster being... It's clear we raised a chunk of forest here for the coaster to fit in. And I wanted that to look... That's what I kind of wanted it to look like. So I also like my little no entrance signs there. That's obviously the employee gate to access, you know, all those fancy areas. So yeah, and then we put in more fencing, and that's that. And so now this part coming up here is the beginnings of the exit gift shop, and this is actually I have about a third of the completed gift shop that is left after the crash. I don't know what happened. I don't know why autosave didn't work. I get the crash thing. I had the Tegid kit, I don't know how to say it, but the camera cheat, I had that uploaded, or I had that working, and I was zoomed way in, and like I was recording up close, moving the camera around, and then I tried to stop the recording while the camera was still moving, and I think it was just too much for my processor, and I think the game just said, nope, you're done, and the game crashed. I get that. I can live with that. But autosave didn't autosave. Like, I had at least an hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours of work, and I left the game idle for a while, and the screensaver, because I play in windowed mode, the screensaver came on, my desktop screensaver came on, and I wonder, my thought is maybe that was what happened, and autosave got deactivated or something. I don't know. So there was no way to go back and save everything, so I had to redo it. But it's okay, because it's fine. I think it'll look... What I've done to redo it, I think looks good. What we're working on here are some shirts and some hats, and those hats are stupid, and I know they look bad, and I think I've already fixed them. So, but for this episode, they look like little Civil War reenactment hats, which wasn't really the goal, but whatever. And here we are. I wanted it to look like this had an outdoor area to shop, but now I'm not sure I like that so much. I might go in and change that, because that was also in our live stream build. I had a chunk of the store. I had some shelves outside, and that doesn't make much sense. So, but anyway, we're building the covering here. That I think that's kind of what gives the building any sort of interesting shape, is this overhang here, and then it's just a matter of squaring it all off and making it look much better. I'm just going to kind of let this shop go, and if anything really important, if you're curious about all my gift shop items, most of them were directly inspired, aka stolen, from CTR SIND, from Ryan. And if you're familiar with my channel, you know he was a guest on Bro Coaster and did a fantastic job. He's a mad genius when it comes to finding new and interesting ways to use pieces in Planet Coaster. So, that being said, I stole all of these awesome gift shop ideas pretty much from him. So, yeah, we're going to let this continue, because at this point, none of this survived anyway. So, enjoy what could have been. And in the next episode, we'll have the rebuilt gift shop. So, with that being said, thanks so much for being here. And if you've made it this far in the video, consider hitting that subscribe button if you haven't already. Leaving a little thumbs up like button, that would help a lot. And if you're so inclined and you really like the stuff on my channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. I'm really trying hard, guys, to get at least one video up, even though Bro Coaster hasn't been out in a little bit. We should be getting back on track here this weekend or early next week, and then we should be back on track for a little bit. Had a bit of a hiccup again, but I'm trying to at least get one video on my channel. So it would really mean a lot if you would hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. And expect a new series coming up shortly. We're going to jump into a different game coming up, so be on the lookout for that. Yeah, so thanks for being here, like I've already said. Enjoy the rest of the video, and we'll see you for the next one. Have a great day. Bye-bye.